Hello, welcome in. So, today I thought I would talk about some 2026 releases that I'm excited for. A lot of these come out in January. So many come out in January. Let's see, I have my list here. I have to wear my glasses because, turned 40 and can't really see anymore. This won't be an exact order for January, but I'll do my best. January 6th, we have Dark Joy. So, this is the next in Christine Feehan's Dark series. We have vampires, we have a race of Carpathians who basically are what vampires are before they give up their soul and turn. And so, this is the romance between because we have fated mates in this series. So, this is a romance between basically a Carpathian hunter and a jaguar shapeshifter. I love this series. Um, I don't even know how many books are in this series so far, but it's a lot. Also releasing January 6th, we have The Swan's Daughter. So this is a YA fantasy romance. Basically, we have a prince that is cursed, and in order to break his curse, he needs to find his one true love. But the curse is that every single time he marries, his bride dies. Then January 6th, we have Dragon's Curse. And so this seems to be a YA fantasy novel as well with dragons. And we have basically the last remnants of humans who, if they get infected by the dragons, then they turn into dragons themselves. And so we have our main female character and her friend. It's their romance as her friend is trying to like save her, is what the synopsis kind of sounded like to me. Then also January 6th, we have Rings of Fate. And this is basically about a curse. Some rings are cursed, and we have the romance between a barmaid and a prince. And it sounded like it would be interesting and possibly funny. And then January 20th, Fruit of the Flesh. It sounds like it's going to be a horror novel, and we have the romance between a ballerina and an artist, and it says that they have a marriage of convenience, but they both are hiding dark secrets and dark desires. Also, January 20th, we have The Poet Empress. So, this is a historical, like, fantasy novel, and it is set in, I believe, ancient China is the backdrop. And we have a young girl. She is in a kingdom that is being torn apart by famine. Their emperor is dying, and she ends up becoming the concubine that she has to write. Basically, it says she must compose a spell in the form of a ballad of death. And I thought, ooh, this sounds really interesting. I always love like fantasy romances like that, especially set in like ancient China. Then we have January 13th. I forgot about this one. A Vow and Vengeance. It says that it is a dark academia fantasy, enemies to lovers, immortals, tarot cards, several releasing in January 27th. January is just going to be full for me. A Dance with Death. Now, this one is probably the one that I'm like the most excited about because it just sounds like the most interesting. So, it is a dark gothic fantasy romance. It's book one in a series, is what it seems like. And we have the romance between a ballerina and a demon. She steals from him a set of ballerina slippers. And when he finds her, the shoes and the ballerina, they have merged into one, and they will not come off of her feet. So he imprisons her, and she ends up striking a deal with him for her release. So even the cover I think is like pretty awesome too. That's kind of what drew me in on some of these was just the cover. I do that sometimes. I'm like, ooh, even though I know don't judge a book by its cover, I can't help myself. It happens. Okay. And then A Spell for Drowning. So it says an historical fantasy paranormal. A girl becomes an apprentice to this like wise woman of the town, and when the wise woman falls ill, she will do anything to cure her. And so she makes a deal with the sea god. So we'll see how that turns out. Also releasing January 27th, We Who Have No Gods. So this is supposed to be a dark academia paranormal romance. And it says you have a pair of siblings who their mother has died. They are orphans now, and they end up going to a university to learn their craft. One has magic, one does not, and it is supposed to be a forbidden romance between one of the twins and a professor. February 10th, we have Throne of Nightmares. So this is the next book in the Prince, like Demon Prince, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's Kerry Maniscalco. And this we have Prince Sloth. And so he is obsessed with books and he's doing research. He's trying to break a curse. And we have a mortal girl who she somehow gets transported into the underworld somehow. And she has to help him with his research. And it's their romance. It sounded really interesting. And releasing February 17th, we have Crown of War and Shadows. This is a J.R. Ward new series. So I really love reading J.R. Ward, so I'm excited for a new series from her. And it says that it is a fantasy romance, and it's between an outcast and a mercenary. And the next up, we have March. It looks like we have March 24th, Beneath. Now, I'm so excited for this. This is a prequel to the Conform novel. Conform was one of my absolute favorite books that I read in 2025, and this is the prequel. So it kind of explains the fallout, the nuclear fallout that happens, the dystopian society, and it is the romance between basically a soldier and just a woman and who's trying to survive. Can't wait. So excited for that one. Also in March, we have March 31st. So this is Moonshine Women. This is an historical novel, and it is based in, it says, the Prohibition era Missouri Ozarks. Three sisters take over their father's moonshine business. I'm really trying to branch out this year and read not just romance and not just paranormal romance and fantasy, which I love, but I'm finding that I need something else, something more. And so I thought this sounded interesting to me. We would give it a try. And then in April 7th, we have The Rites of Starling. It is book 2 in a series. I read book 1. It was on my list of books that I absolutely loved in 2025. I'm excited to dive back into this world. I don't want to get too much into it because if you haven't read book 1, I don't want to give any spoilers away. July. So July 26th, we have Prince of Swords. This is also book 2 in a series. I read book 1 this year in 2025. Again, don't want to give out any spoilers, but absolutely loved book 1. Can't wait to get back into this series and see what's next for our main characters. Also in July, we have Wake of the Ruined. Again, book 2. Lots of book 2s that I'm excited about this year. And to continue on in these series. Then we have August 4th. We have Adversary to the Villain. It is book 4 in the Apprentice to the Villain series. So super excited about this one as well. I don't know if this is the last one or not. We will see. Then September, the last one that I have on my list here is The Knave and the Moon. It is also book 2 in a duology. I really liked book 1 again and happy to see how this series wraps up. I really love this author's writing, so super excited. Those are all of the books that are high on my list that I know of to come out this year in 2026. So let me know in the comments what you're interested in. If there's something that didn't make my list that you think I would enjoy, let me know. And I'll talk to you next time.